Morning. Okay, I know it's morning, but the students are really nervous, so you got to give them some energy. So let's try again. Good morning. All right. All right. Okay. Right, give them some love. Um, we're really excited about this session this morning because we want to try something new and different. Traditionally, the students are they're here and they give us inspiration by their stories, and that's really marvelous. But this morning we want to operate in both and have the students both be inspirational to you, but also to be resources to you. So under the encouragement of achieving the dream, we tried to do something new this year. We sent out a notice to all the colleges, and we asked them to select a student that might be able to serve as a researcher responder. In other words, we wanted to introduce the notion of embedded students. We wanted to have them learn something about the various different strands that the program was organized in, and so they did that. They had 3 telephone conferences before we got here, in which they read articles about the various different strands that they had picked, and then they kind of formed together as a team, and then they came to this event and went to the various different workshops. They attended all the workshops on Tuesday and all the workshops on Wednesday. And if you saw them in the workshop tweeting, they weren't just writing home to talk to their boyfriend or to talk to their partner about something. They were talking about you. They were talking about what they had seen, what they observed, aha moments, things that delighted them during the workshop. And so now they're here today to give you some feedback, to tell you what it is they heard, what it is they learned, and what it is they wanted to say to you. And so what we're doing today is we're moving from a concept of pedagogy, with the idea of thinking that students are these empty vessels that we just have to fill with knowledge and they'll be okay, to the principles of andragogy, to say that our students are brilliant resources and we need to involve them in the dialogue. That when we're making decisions about them, they should be there. So that's kind of the setup that we have today, and we're really excited. So each student is going to introduce themselves, say what school they're from, and give you some goals about what they want to do after graduation. Then they're going to share with you some highlights of the conference for them, some aha moments, some things that they heard that they said, whoa, this needs to be incorporated not just at my school, but throughout the whole Achieving the Dream movement. And then they're also going to share with you some things that they think that you need to take back. So in short, they're going to share with you what it is they wanted to do, what it is they did, what it is they learned, and so what. All right? And so if you turn to page 85 in your book, you will see the research and respondent team members' names, and essentially they will kind of go in order, even though, of course, because things change, we're going to shift the last person to the first person. So we're going to start with Natalie. And so Natalie, if you can come up, or if you want to sit there and with your mic and tell us about who you are and what you learned at this amazing event.
Hi guys, I'm Natalie. I'm Natalie Wood. I'm from Bradford College, Texas. And I'm going to school for political science and history. I'm hoping to transfer to Rice and get my degrees there. And then I also want to go to law school at Columbia. And I ultimately want to be on the Supreme Court. So that's my goal. I chose to write about state and national policy and education. I chose because I'm interested. I know very little about it until now. And it's just always been a passion of mine. And I'm the current president of the Student Government Association. And I really just thought it would be a great growing and learning experience for me. So I went to a lot of workshops. Some of them were really, really interesting. I went to one about grants, and it was really cool to learn from the federal side of what kind of grants we have for different things and how to get them, how to apply. and how only 10% of the schools that apply get them because they don't follow directions. And if, and if they just follow directions, there's all this funding that could be used. But anyway, my favorite one, I don't know how many of you are from Arkansas, but it's amazing. It was totally shocking to me how crazy things have changed. I mean, I'm talking they've got success rates going up 20 and 50% for some of their students. They have a program, I believe is called the CCAP, and that was my main interest. Some states are cutting, I learned from another session, some states are cutting funding for developmental education courses. And coming from somebody who took at least 3 math developmental courses, I know how vital they are. And that was optional, completely optional for me, but I knew I would never get through algebra without it, and I barely did. And we learned that they had, if you took your ACT entrance and you got a 13 or less, the percent chance that you would succeed was 0. And Arkansas didn't like that. And Arkansas took it upon themselves to make things better. And they decided we need to do a pre-developmental ed class. But not only that, it'll be completely free to these students, and it won't affect their 30 hours of financial aid, and they could actually do what they needed to do and finish it. And when they got a grant for this, they put on the grant that they thought they would get a 40% success rate. And they were lying. They thought they would get about 20. And they thought that they would enter it anyway and that it would be okay. And they ended up getting an 80% success rate after they got the grant, which is incredible. And it said a lot about the students. And then 86% of those students got jobs immediately after. And these are low-income students, the majority of them, and mothers and single mothers, and it just really made a difference, and they cared. And one thing that was evident to me, there was a president named Stephen Schoonmaker there, and he was so passionate about the students and so passionate about what he was doing, and he even compared it to the little engine that could, and that's how I see Arkansas now, because he said, you know, every single part of the student, or the faculty, everybody, from the security guards guiding you from the parking lot to the president saying hello and coming through the halls, every single person at the school is so integral to student success. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. And thank you guys for having us here, because you obviously realize how important student success is, or you wouldn't be here. But he taught us a lot about that, and it was a really interesting session. And I learned, they also talked a lot about intrusive advising. And I know in another session I was in, they kind of downplayed the advising side of it, but basically, I learned, my biggest takeaway from this was that advising needs to be beefed up. We need a lot of advisors. It's so important to student success to have those advisors there, guiding them. It's integral. I wouldn't have been able to do it without the staff at my school, without Dr. Villanueva, without Sasha Tarrant, without Kelly Ford. I mean, they have really shaped who I am and given me these opportunities that I wouldn't have had without achieving the dream. None of us would have these. We wouldn't have increased student success by 5 million% in Arkansas. I mean, it's incredible that you guys are here, and thank you, Achieving the Dream, and everybody for everything you've done. It's been an incredible learning experience, and I'm really, really grateful for it.
And our next research respondent will be Shanice. Yeah, you're done.
Good morning. My name is Shanice Austin Gaskins, and I'm a student at University of District of Columbia Community College. We've been in Achieve the Dream school since 2010, and I'm glad I got the opportunity to come here today, this week, because it was such an important opportunity and experience for me to explore the things that we're not only doing at our school, but what you all are doing at other community colleges in the nation. I'll start off by saying I'm a proud, openly gay, African-American, and a leader in my community.
All right.
These are all things you can find out via the internet. But it makes a stronger impact because I'm telling you face to face. I'm having a conversation with you. I'm pursuing an associate's degree in early childhood education, and then eventually I'll get a bachelor's degree in human development. I said my opening statement because of this. Everybody should understand that we live in an age of technology where personal face-to-face contact has diminished. It is fading into a social media frenzy. I do agree, because I am on all of them. Facebook, Twitter, Blackboard, and Instagram have a place in the academic future. but it should never eliminate the core of our existence, human connections. Let's not get so far ahead that we miss the connections that conversation and simplicity provide for us and bring to the table for us as students and you as academic advisors. Technology does strengthen the community college's core, and it strengthens us as students. For instance, by following the Improving Student Success through Technology track this week, I found some phenomenal ideas. Austin Community College talked in detail about the degree mapping. It was my favorite part of this week. It brought to the forefront what allows those powerful conversations and advising to take place. The system would gather, correlate, and create degree programs and outlooks, and flag problem areas for students like myself who take programs and classes that we don't need to take to finish our degree, which stresses us out. It stressed me out, and I know it stresses a lot of my friends out who take classes at our community college. Wacom spoke on presentation matters and don't let it get in the conversation or in the way. Don't let your weak presentation disrupt the conversation you want to have through technology and your slideshow. I love slideshows, but the guy was integral in telling us that you can be as impressive as you want to be without all the different colors, without the bullets, without the dry space, with all of these wordy graphs. And I found that very interesting because I do all of the above. But his presentation was hands-on and it was engaging. So for me, that was the most important part of the whole presentation. I got to sit with other people from other community colleges who agree, like myself, I do that. How can I change it, and when can I change it? I really enjoyed the Emporium model for math because I dislike math. However, every student has to take it at one time or another. But they made a streamlined and more clear concept for what you can do for students who have to take those premier classes before you even get to regular math. And so that made a difference for me because I see myself as somebody who can take that back to my school and maybe help with some of the students who are coming after me with this math problem. And yes, it's a problem. I'm sorry if you teach math, but it's a problem. So I just wanted to say to all the community colleges, you showed us that technology at its best and not at its worst. And to you, I say thank you. So now I'll answer the question, now what? I say learn more and get on board with everybody else in this room. I'm a student, but I'm also a teacher. I'm already in your shoes as well. I approve of the messages that everybody was saying here today because it does not diminish from anybody's program. It makes all of the programs better when we come to conventions like this and share these ideas. I'm invigorated, and I am glad to know that you all are impressed with us as students up here on the panel and what we've been doing to highlight the impressive things you've been doing. I ask you to think about how you can go back to your prospective colleges and infuse technology without losing the face-to-face connections and conversations because they matter. Thank you.
Our next research respondent is Rosie.
Hi. Hi, my name is Rocio de la Torre, and I come to represent Walla Walla Community College. And I am working on my bachelor's degree for social work. I'm going to start my presentation by asking you a few questions. How will you feel if at the age of 9 you were put in special ed because they couldn't talk to you because I didn't speak English? How will you feel if at the age of 14 the boy, your first crush, your first person that you feel you could have a personal relationship, tells you that to go back to your country, that you're a wet back to him? How will you feel that at the age of 30, a place that you worked for 4 years, hand by hand with your staff, tell you to go back to your country? That's my story. And that's why I'm here. I come here to tell you guys that I was crushed. I feel this big. I felt I was stupid. I feel I was second class until one faculty member, one person, one spark believed in me. Her name is Susan Palmer. She was the first person in my life and my educational experience that said, "You're smart." But she didn't only said it, she walked with me. She meant it, and it came from here. And for me, that's what mattered. So I came here, and my area is systematic institutional reform. I think my college has great staff, but needs a lot of help. And I'm here, and I came here because I wanted to get all the information. But I came here kind of narrow-minded. I came here thinking that I was going to find, 100 people, 200, 300, and now this crowd, which transformed me again, which if I had any doubts that I was going to succeed, you guys proved me that I don't have any boundaries, that I'm smart, and there's people behind me working for it. And thank you for that. Thank you all for that. What I'm taking back to my community college is for systematic reform. We need systematic reform in Wawa Community College. And you guys gave me strategics. My favorite part of this conference was Generation X, because for the first time I looked at data different. I didn't understand data. I didn't understand the importance of data and what can really show you. It shows you the beauty, the ugly, and what you don't want to talk about. But for me, it empowered me. As a student, it empowered me to ask questions. Coming from a sociologist's perspective, I want answers to my questions, and that data answer my questions. So I'm going to go back to my college and have serious conversations, because I want those questions answered, an answer to, for my community. Because this is not, the face that you see here in my story doesn't represent a Latina woman struggling. It represents a mother. It represents under poverty. It represents how isolated I have been my whole life by a system that was created to make me feel that I was stupid, that I was worth nothing. Thank you all for being here. I challenge you guys. I really do challenge you guys to look inside you. And I love everything you said, but you start here. We need to feel that you guys care. That's your first thing. If you don't have it here, nothing else matters. Thank you.
Our next student respondent is Irving.
Thank you, Dr. Joy. Good morning, everybody. My name is Irving Ledesma. I'm here representing the Hispanic students and as well as Tarrant County College community. Yay. Luckily, this is the second time that I get to come to the DREAM conference. I've been selected with the DREAM organization, and I'm really proud of that. I would like to start by saying that I didn't believe in myself. Similar to Rocio, I'm here representing equity, and I never felt that equity in the classroom or even in my school was well represented. I remember when I was in high school, one of my professors told me, "You're gonna be lucky if you made it to graduation date. You're not college material." To prove her wrong, I'm here. I'm really close to get an associate's degree. I do plan to transfer to a 4-year program. I have applied to Texas Christian University, and I've been accepted. With this being said, what happens when you are illegal in the country? What happens when your dreams are crushed? It was really hard for me to get out of from that stage, from that narrow mind, and to overcome fear. Overall, it's overcoming fear. After graduation, I remember that I applied to 6 different universities, and I was accepted. I held a 3.7 GPA. I took AP and honors classes. But that wasn't enough. Even though I was accepted, I didn't have the money to pay for any of these schools. So after that, for 1 year, I worked 2 jobs. I realized that making minimum wage, it was just not enough to support my family nor any of my needs. The day that I decided, or I was empowered with one of my coworkers to enroll into a community college, I had my doubts. At this point, I've been told so many times, not just by professors, but family members, that I wasn't gonna be successful. Why? Because my place was in the kitchen. That's where I belong, and that's where I should stay. Since I wanted to make that difference, I decided to go to Tarrant County College. After my first semester, one of my professors read one of my essays about my goals in life. She liked it. So that's how I enrolled into the Chancellor's Hadley program for new leaders, emergency leaders. That's what led into DREAM. Based on that, one morning I sat down with my president of my campus, Dr. Fulkerson, and she believed in me. She was the spark that I needed to keep going on to better things. So during the sessions here at DREAM, I saw in many workshops, that people were talking about how to represent better students, how to mentor students. When a professor, president, vice president, anybody on the school cares and loves their students, we're gonna put that input. Yes, I represent that 5% of the nation that graduates from community college. But you know what? I don't want to be only 5%. I wish there was 10% of Hispanic male that graduate from community colleges. How do I apply this into my college? It's really easy. Once I go back to school, I start talking to people. I start talking to my friends, and I let them know, hey, you know what? I was you last year. But guess what? There's people out there that care about you. If you only ask the right questions, when anybody in the administration system tells them, you know what, feel free to come to my office to ask me any questions. Do you need help with financial aid? We'll find a way. And that's the kind of the support system that I needed. I was blind. I'm first generation. Nobody in my family has ever break those boundaries. It is really important for me to let all the Latino males out there that it is possible. Whether you're legal, illegal, whether you're black, non-black, it is possible to succeed in life, to make those life accomplishments, those goals to become goals. Because at one point, my dreams stopped being dreams and they actually became goals. Then again, when I said, navigating through the whole system after I got accepted into Texas Christian University, I had that fear inside of me. It just happened right before DREAM. And I was like, how am I gonna pay for this? What's gonna happen? When I walked into their office and I told them that I came from my community college, I got that look. Everybody knows what kind of look I'm talking about. The Hispanic look, like, what are you here? This is a white people's school. Why are you here? You don't have the money. When I talked to one of the administrative people, she was so welcoming. She told me, you know what? I told her the same things that I'm telling you guys. And she said, you have a great story. People like you, we need them on our campus. That melted my heart. She said, I'm gonna try my best to get you as many scholarships as you can. I'm a member of the Phi Theta Kappa, member of the Dean List. I work hard for high grades. And I'm sure every other student out there does the same thing. We all have to work, but we also have dreams. When I say that the mentor program, it's really important, I mean it. I really mean it. When you come to a professor and you tell them, you know what, I'm struggling with your class, I don't know what to do, and they sit by your side, and you have that connection, that human touch, you're like, they care. And then you feel pressure because you say, okay, they care, so why I don't care? Why am I gonna go out or not read my textbooks or not do what I'm supposed to do when I perfectly know what I have to do? With that all being said, I would just like to conclude and share with you this thought that I came to with the internet the other day, and it stuck in my head. It just says that life is full of challenges, but in a life without challenges will not be meaningful. How you overcome those challenges is what makes life meaningful. Thank you.
Very good, very good, very good.
And our next student research respondent will be Joshua.
Hi. Sorry about that. I was trying to find the nearest escape route. It didn't work. My name is Joshua Ortiz. I am from Kingsborough Community College in Brooklyn, New York. The reason why I am here is because I wanted to go ahead and learn so much more about my theme of evidence-based decisions. And being a criminal justice major and hoping to get my bachelor's in association criminology, evidence is one of the key founders of what you need. In my college, we saw that we had so much data, but because it was just giving us chronic headaches, we decided not to use it until last year. As of last year, we decided to go ahead and collect all of this data and decided to go ahead and implement the change. This change was to go ahead and not only help the students be better in their classes, it was to help the faculty understand the students' perspective of what they need to be, what they need more help in and what they were struggling with. One of the best conferences I've had here was the No Boring Data Conference, which proved my point of chronic headaches. Now, the No Boring Data Conference actually showed me that if you just to go ahead and simplify all of this massive data, you'll be able to not only understand what you need to do, you'll also need to understand the needs of the student as well. This conference has really opened up my eyes to the different tools and strategies that we are able to use. My Kingsborough Community College, we're actually using those strategies now, and so far we've seen over an 80% success rate in evidence-based decisions, and we've decided that we're going to continue down this path because we feel that evidence-based decisions is just one of the strongest tools that we have to go ahead and not only understand everything of what is going on paper, but to understand it from a student's perspective, to understand the struggles that they're going through their classes. Sometimes they have some personal reasons, and to actually go ahead and say, we're here, we see what's going on, we're going to go ahead and help you, we're going to go ahead and make a change, so that way you are able to go ahead and get your degree, and we are able to help you in any way we can. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be up here. I had a program at the Kingsborough Community College called the Men's Resource Center, and throughout my time at the college, they've helped me so much. They have taught me everything about becoming a leader, becoming a stronger student, and becoming someone that you can look up to. It's really been touching. And for me, I feel that this conference was able to go ahead and strengthen my characters, strengthen the fact that I am able to go ahead and speak in front of 1,700 people, which I didn't find out until Friday. It happens. And I feel that if we just use these tools, we're going to see such a huge difference in impact. And that is a reason why I'm here. I'm reason to make a big impact and to make a difference. And if that is not a great reason of why you should be at this conference, I don't know what is. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You guys have been awesome.
Good job. Good job. Our next student speaker is Elena.
Hi, my name is Lainey Smirchik. I'm also a student at Brazosport College. This is actually my last semester at Brazosport. I'm finishing up my prerequisites to attend a BSN program in the fall with goals of being a travel nurse, working for companies like or organizations like Doctors Without Borders. This week, I chose to research the topic building internal leadership, partly because I consider myself a student leader on my campus, but also I wanted to learn what are the qualities that separate successful leaders from ineffective leaders. So I went to different sessions, and I'm sad to say that my question wasn't answered. I learned a lot of great things about leadership, and I learned what you all consider student success or how you measure that, but I didn't really learn how those two correlate together. So I kind of thought back to my own personal story and what leaders in my community college, what qualities they possess that helped me be successful. Because as of a year ago, I was one of those C students. I had the potential to be a lot more than a C student, but I kind of fell in the cracks because nobody really believed in me. Nobody took the time to show that they really cared about me. So that all changed when I got a job at Student Life, and our wonderful Student Life coordinator made it her job, not made it her job, but showed me that she was interested in me and invested in my future, and she was going to be there to help me along the way. And that has led to lots of success for me. I'm the secretary to Natalie's Student Government Association. I've also founded, and I'm the president of the Habitat chapter at our school. I'm enrolled in 12 hours, 8 of which are microbiology and chemistry. If any of you know, that's pretty tough. And I also work 19 hours, so I consider myself much more successful now that I've had a leader show me, hey, you can do these things. You know, you're more than just a C student. Look at all these opportunities, including this wonderful opportunity to be here. So my point to you all is, you know, you can do your research and you can collect the data and you can implement these wonderful programs, but until you get out there and show your students that you really, really care about them, that you're actually invested in your future, that's when the success will happen. I know all of you seeing after this week that you all are very passionate people, very fired up about student success. You know, show your students that. You may think you're showing, but you may not be getting the point across. So take the time to really show your students, I care about you, I'm invested in your future, and I want you to succeed. Our generation is the future. We are the leaders of tomorrow, but we need the leaders of today, you all, to show us the ropes, to teach us how to lead. And I think that's when student success will really happen. Thank you.
And last but not least, all right, Terrence.
Hi, my name is Terrence Whitehead, and I attend Atlanta Technical College. I've already finished 2 programs at Atlanta Technical College. I finished the diesel technology and automotive technician program. I'm currently still taking classes, taking a lot of my prerequisites for my bachelor's degree. Once I finish at Atlanta Technical College, I plan to I plan on going to school to further my education to one day get a degree in education or either theology. But only time will tell. I'm a non-traditional student. I'm actually one of the older people that go back to school. I'm an early 70s baby. And and I follow building eternal leadership because a lot of my background is in the military. I spent 14 years in the military. And and with building eternal leadership, it really stood out to me because that's how we operated in the military. We always teach our junior enlisted to be able to step up to that next level. Because in the military, you know, man down only means next man up, you know, and you can't be sitting around and be wondering who your leader going to be once the leader gone, you know. So it was a big deal to me to go to the building eternal leadership. And really what I kind of got from that is that in the next 30 years, I can see every president in the colleges supporting cloning. Because I really wasn't aware of all the work and the things they do. You know, because when you see the president around the school, they're usually walking around the school or speaking at a program. You hardly ever see what they do behind doors. And I found out that, you know, that they're really a busy person. I mean, I thought they was busy before, but after sitting in the thing yesterday, I was like overwhelmed with like, okay, you do what? You do what? And they showed a slide of a president desk, and I'm like, okay, that thing has 3 computers on it. And I'm like, still trying to get used to one. And I went to some of the quantity sessions as well, and I was really impressed with what Montgomery had said about getting everybody involved. You know, because from the time I walked through the door on Monday and I saw the big words dream, it was just one thing kept coming to mind as I kept saying the mass of people coming in each morning, eating breakfast and eating dinner. Teamwork makes the dream work, you know, and it takes a team of people like you all to make that dream work. And, you know, and I just think everyone, when you all go back to your college, it's up to you all to find that diamond in the rough, you know, because at each school, all it takes, like you heard many of them say, it takes one person. And once you affect one person, success is contagious. And even though success is contagious, failure is contagious. But which one are you gonna allow to be contagious, you know? If you go back to your college and you find that person, we've also, you know, learned in life that the word of mouth is the best advertisement. You know, and if you go and affect one student, all you have to do is affect one student, because my life was changed at my school. It empowered me to go and grab one other person, 2 other people, 3, 4, 5, 6, all because one person stood up and they talked to me. And, you know, we've heard a lot of the panel up here say it's what's in the heart. And said a lot of people got to understand that the biggest thing that I like to share with people is that I'm big on Bible, on biblical knowledge. The Bible states that from the abundance of a man's heart, so shall he speaks. So make sure that your heart is full of good things when you talk to the kids. You know, because sometimes we be a little harsh with our words and not knowing that we're harsh, you know, when a person is reaching out to us. So, you know, just like I said yesterday, a lot of people, you know, heard me say yesterday, just love on your students, because you never know when they need it. You know, it may be what you say that give them that push or that edge to go on with their life. And you never know. You may run into them later on down the line and they could be your boss, you know, or, you know, or sitting, or you could walk into the voting booth and look down and like, wow, I know this guy. I taught him back at my technical college, and they could be running for a state, you know, office or something. So, you know, I applaud you all for what you're doing. It's great, you know, and I'm going to go back to my school and just share the information that I've learned here, especially with getting everybody involved. Like I said, with Montgomery, it made me so happy when they said that they get everybody involved, from the building engineers to everybody, because it's, you know, it's anybody can help somebody. You know, and as long as we keep that mentality, and long as we keep reaching out and not going forward empty-handed, that when we move forward, we're taking people with us. You know, and it's not just the blacks and the Latinos. I mean, we need to bring everybody forward with us, no matter who that person is. We need to bring them forward with us. And we all represent different colleges here, but we all represent the same nation. And one of the biggest things, I kind of like, I know that we have the strongest military in the world, but when it comes to education, I mean, I sit there all the time when I see the stats on how we measure to other countries. It hurts my heart to know that we don't measure up in education, but we can measure up to military power. To me, that's kind of lump-sided, and we need to balance that out. And I'm just happy to see that it's starting here. Before I got selected, I had no idea about achieving the dream. I knew about all the great things we had at our school, far as our student success, our AIM program. I knew about a lot of programs, but I actually didn't know how it tied into achieving the dream. But I am so happy that we have people like achieving the dream, because I have kids, and I want my kids to be able to have the same equal opportunity as any citizens in the United States. And also, I'm so proud that you all picked the month of February to do this, you know. Because it means a lot that we can come up here and I know it's African American History Month, but you know, we all can share in the same things that goes on when you talk about equality. You know, African American History Month is not just about African American, it's about equality, you know, and keep up the great work. Thank you.
Good job.
All right, now, because we are into participation, it's time for questions and answers or comments. And let me just say, you don't, at the school that I came from, the Evergreen State College, Tacoma campus, we do something called give-backs. And give-backs are, happen at the end of when any speakers come and they do work and they give from their hearts. What we ask the students to do is sometimes not ask questions, but to respond, to say, I appreciate something you said. What you said made me think about this. I really like that thought. Because I want to tell you that this is an incredibly hard-working group of students. I mean, they have come here, they have listened, they have taken what you've said so seriously. We've had briefings, we've had debriefings, people have been trying to work through personal things, through cross-cultural things, through information things, and they are courageous in terms of their statement, and they are committed, and they care. So if you don't have a question, maybe you have a comment. Maybe you want to say something to them because they gave of their hearts. And so can you give a little of your hearts back to them? Would anybody like to come to the microphone? All right.
First
Please.
of all, I'd like to commend you for your courage to get up in front of a huge group. You all did well. One of you said you hadn't had the answer to your question about the difference between a successful leader and an ineffective one. This is my opinion. A successful leader is someone who takes time to listen and someone who never forgets the focus of the mission. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Someone else, come on, give them some love.
Hi, how are you doing? And again, thank you for your words. This is my favorite session. Every time I come, I've got to hear the students because they're fabulous, right? They're who keeps us going, so thank you. But the last gentleman who spoke, we heard you say, teamwork makes the dreams work. And we all were texting ourselves, we're going to use that at St. Louis Community College, so thank you. We love it.
Can you hear me? Oh. Is it on? Okay. I wanted to address the young lady that went through the experience of being called a wetback and go back to your country. That happened to me as well as a child. I was raised actually in upper middle class society. My parents came from extreme poverty in San Antonio, and my father worked so hard to pull them out of poverty. And so living in an all-white neighborhood, and the neighbor across the street who had a PhD telling me to go home. And at first I was confused. I said, well, my house is right there. What do you mean go back? I don't understand. And I have many Latino students that take my classes. And the first thing I tell them, because I'm a history teacher, I tell them, well, you remind them, we were here first. You go back. And I just want to tell you, Mija, you are not a second-class citizen. We are here, we are special, and it's just about educating people when they tell me that I don't belong here. So I'm so proud that you're here.
Hi, I work with our first year program at East LA College. And I just want to say, first of all, the 7 of you are quite amazing, and we're really honored to have you here. And it's just one of the things that sort of hit me over the head as I was sitting here listening to the insights and the commitment and inspiration you all bring is that we have been very foolish at our college not to make sure that we institute like a student advisory board for our program. So I think that sometimes we think, yes, we have great ideas of what will work for students, and sometimes they will work for students, and sometimes students could probably pretty easily tell us that's not what would be helpful. So I think what I would like to do is make sure when I go back that I look into creating a student advisory board, and you all have helped with that idea that I think will be very good for our college. So thank you all so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
The comment that I heard that I will take back with me is that my dreams are no longer dreams, they're goals.
Thank you.
I also wanted to tell you that I'm a fellow first-generation Texan, and they now call me Dr. Roberts. And I'd also like to tell you there are a lot of doctors in this audience who are also first-generation college students.
I just want to thank you all for, I think, reiterating what I'm a faculty member, and I've taught for 30 years, and so I'm proud to say that I've taught 13,000 students at this point, and I keep track of that number because, as you all pointed out, every one of you brings in 6 or 7 or 10 more or however many more, and I think it's important that we all remember that each one of us makes a difference and that it's a ripple effect, you know, and I think you all are living proof of that. And I just want to say to Rocio, I appreciated your story. I had a woman a few years ago who came to me who had dropped out of school for 20 years because a nasty old man called her a wetback, and she left school for 20 years and then finally came back and was in my class. And she ended up, and here's the good part, she ended up going on, she's kept in touch with me. She went on, she got a master's degree in education, and she is now a principal in a school, in a middle school. So she, you know, so that's what I'm talking about. So thank you very much, and keep on making that difference. We appreciate you too. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So I'm a data guy, and I spend a lot of my time crunching the numbers, and I think I might speak for the rest of the data people here. We don't get to interact with the students too much, so hearing you speak makes what I do worth it, and it's really satisfying. So thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't plan to be up here, and I shouldn't be up here. But something that Terrence said triggered something in my mind that I think this entire audience is worth hearing. I am a community college graduate. I served 20 years in the Marine Corps. I just served 30 years on the board of the Marine Corps University in Quantico that has produced the leadership for every large military organization in the country. What I want to say is that, like Terrence, there are thousands of men and women who have returned from military service, and many of them are damaged in mind and in body. But we are finding that PTSD that many of us carry can be lessened so that you can handle it. And the best place for you to do that is not in the VA where you're getting a bunch of pills. It is in a community college where you can get the kind of support that these people have talked about. So all of you, please be an advocate for these vets that are coming back. I feel particularly a lot of concern for women veterans who not only have to deal with the concerns of the enemy, but sometimes their colleagues are their enemies. And we need to educate better this job that we have now in the Department of Defense. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sarah Rose. I'm from Grand Rapids Community College in Michigan. Thank you all for being here. I know it takes a lot of bravery, and thank you also for moderating it. My comment is just that I want to share my takeaway. As a counselor in my institution and advisor, I know that I care about my students, and I know they can feel that. However, what I think I need to do more is to be more intentional about saying, you have potential, and I appreciate that.
Good morning, everybody. I wasn't going to say anything, but because I'm just a crybaby. Anyway, my name is Robin Cook, and I'm from the University of the District of Columbia Community College. I'm one of the math professors, and I thought the reason why I got up is I have to let Shawnice know she can stop by my office at any time. Room 505, if she's having issues with her math, and she can send her friends. But I really appreciate everybody's journey as to how they got to this particular place. And I also enjoyed what the young man said, out of the abundance of the heart, you know, the mouth speaketh. And that's how we all have to be. We all have to have a heart for serving our young people, regardless to what age they are, how old they are, what ethnicity they're from. We cannot show any kind of prejudices. We have to help everyone that we can. And I really appreciate everyone's story. I praise God for you. I thank God for you. You continue to testify of the goodness of whatever your school has done for you. And we as faculty, we have to get on the ball. We have to go out and we have to feel our students and meet the needs. If we can't do it, find someone that can. Thank you for this opportunity. This is my second year at Achieve the Dream. And this conference is, in my words, off the chain. Yes. Thank you so much.
All right. Sir? Sir, over on that side? Yes, please. And then, ma'am, after that one. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to just take this opportunity to thank you for sharing, again, the things from your heart and soul. It confirms that we are doing the right things as we meet together each year and throughout the year to solve the problems and implement solutions to make things better. I try to share with my students on day one of each of the classes that I teach. I teach math at Tarrant County College in Fort Worth, Texas. I try to share on day one that every generation has two responsibilities. The first is to solve the problems of their day, and the second is to teach the next generation how to solve the problems that they will face. Our challenge with that second one is that the problems the next generation will face have never been faced before. We don't know what they are. So we have to teach them well how to really think, reason, understand, and be good problem solvers. It confirms when we hear what you have shared, confirms with us that you are not only joining us with the lessons that you've learned to solve the problems of our day, but you are leading the trail to, and blazing trails to solve the problems of your generation. You will face them. And so we need students like you, we need leaders like you that are courageous enough to share and be part of the solution. So thank you.
Good morning. My name is Alicia Jackson Warren, and I am representing Prince George's Community College. And I want to thank you all again. Thank you, colleagues. Thank the panel, and you all are so courageous. And I know it takes a lot of courage to speak before a large audience, and my heart's beating out of my chest right now, too. But I want to encourage you further. There was some discussion regarding developmental education and the value of it. And I just want to share, if you will, my testimony. I began my academic career on the tertiary level, if you will, as a developmental student. I repeated developmental courses a few times in my career. But that was not my end. For right now, I'm a doctoral candidate at George Mason University.
All right.
So I want to encourage you, if you've ever had a developmental experience, that that's not your end, it's just the beginning, and you can achieve your dream of goal attainment, that being a degree. I also want to thank Ms. Natalie Wood for the shout out to advisors. I am an advisor, a full-time advisor at Prince George's Community College, and we don't often get that kind of love that you put out there. So I really, truly want to thank you for recognizing the vital work of advisors and letting it be known that, yes, we need to beef up advising. We're few, but we're mighty, but we sure would appreciate more hands with the work because you all are so important to us, and your success is our success. So thank you again for recognizing our work in your journey. Thank you all.
Thank you.
I'm Charlene Gaetti from Tarrant County College, South Campus, and I am the South Campus Achieving the Dream Coordinator. And I would like to tell you a little bit about my life is the fact that at one time I sat right where you did because I was also a graduate of Tarrant County College. At one time I was actually a student where I teach now, and leading in the Achieving the Dream. And also, Tarrant County College has made me an outstanding alumni. From the Northeast Campus, and they're going to have my picture on a wall and my bio on a wall that other students can see. And I tell my students in the very first week of my classes my story. And I said, don't ever think that I don't know what you're going through, because at one time I sat right where you are. And take it seriously what you're doing, because you never know where your future is going. You never know what's out there. When I was a student, I never once thought that one day I would be back there teaching. And Tarrant County College has given me so many wonderful chances in life. We have one of the most wonderful chancellors and vice chancellors and associate vice chancellors and leaders, deans, presidents. Our presidents are golden, and all of them believe in achieving the dream so immensely. And at our South Campus, our president, Dr. Jordan, has made it to where students are included in all of our meetings, departmental meetings, big institutional meetings, on our councils, on our endeavors, any that we do, students are to be a part of it. And I want to challenge Achieving the Dream here to add more students every year, because I heard it come back to me that, oh, they thought, well, the students probably wouldn't get much out of what we're offering here, that it's stuff they wouldn't want to hear. You are wrong. It is everything that they want to hear. We have had the experience at Tarrant County College that they know more than you think they know, and they have given us some of the most wonderful suggestions in our meetings and helped us grow. And at Tarrant County College, we have something that's called S to the 4th Power, that Student Success Scholastic Summit. And it started at the South Campus. It has now gone to every one of the 5 campuses, the physical campuses, and has now gone to the district level. We're going to have one in April for the first time. And now we've taken it national here to this meeting, whereby we are investing, we are teaching our faculty and departments way on the low levels to work with our students, work with data, make decisions upon data to help all of you to be the very best that we can. And so my heart goes out to all of you. We love you, I know, at Tarrant County College. So hang in there, okay?
Thank you. We'll take one more comment, and then we want to stay within time. Thank you very much, though, sir, for coming up, but I want to be respectful of time. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. Thank you for letting me bring up the rear. I'm Kim Frazier, and I am at Atlanta Technical College, and I am so proud to stand here today. I started out at a two-year college, too, and I am now Dr. Kim Frazier, like many other people here, and I am so proud of you guys for reminding me of the important work that we do. Two things I'd like to say also that you reminded me of is that we really do need to care about what we do. It is about the heart. It is about caring. A mentor of mine said, when you stop caring, stop doing. Stop doing what you do. And so I think you reminded us to care. I think the other thing you reminded me of is that there are faces behind the data. There's faces behind the numbers. And there's stories. There's a qualitative piece of that there's a story to be told. And so thank you for sharing your stories. That has touched my heart. And I think finally, just for all of you, that Terrence, I'm so proud of you for being from Atlanta Technical College, and that your new brand, teamwork to make the dream work, I just sent a text to our vice president saying that's our new brand, so we get to use it first, just so y'all know. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I want to thank you all for your comments, both those of you who came to the mic and those of you who wanted to come to the mic. It's really reinforcing to the students. I love the comment you made about story. One of the quotes that someone gave me yesterday that said, "A story is data with soul." You know, I really like that. A story is data with soul. And I'll give you one more quote in terms of leaving, and this is from a gentleman named Dr. Herman Blake, who said, "If we listen hard enough to the students, they will tell us how to teach." And so I think that I would like to, oh, before I forget, Elise, could you stand up, please? I just want to recognize Elise from Achieving the Dream, who worked with the students. I mean, she was incredible, you know. I mean, she was incredible. She is one of the most organized, one of the most committed young women, and no, really seriously, and we would not have been able to be a successful team without her diligently working, teaching us all how to tweak, teaching us how to, oh, tweet. I was going to say twerk, you know, twerking. Yeah, and my daughter warned me, she says, "Mom, don't get up in front of all those people and say that word wrong," but hey, what can I say? But I would like to really urge you all to involve students in your data collection, to involve students in your decision. You can see from these students here, they bring a wealth of knowledge, and that we can be, in the words of the great philosopher Spike Lee, more better as a result of their thoughts. So can we give a standing ovation to these people? Can we stand? Stand and applaud them. Yay!
We can light it up, so they can't put it out.
If we could have this mic, please.
We can light it up, so they can't put it out.
Before you leave, I just want to say this remarkable woman is the one who had the idea, which I think was brilliant, to have our students summarize the conference and tell us what it has meant. And Joy, it was remarkable.
Oh, good.
Remarkable.
All right.
And then I want to say to the students, you made us laugh, you made us cry, you made us think. But most importantly, you made us dream again. This is our future, and this is a wonderful future. Thank you so much.
All right.